You're just a big, fat panda.
I'm not a big fat panda. I'm the big fat panda. Skadoosh.
And welcome to Big Fat Panda show number 47. I have looked forward to this show for a long time. This is the Pandora World of Avatar show with a great guest, DaVid McCarthy. You will meet him later. Really great guy. Let's thank my exclusive sponsor, David's Vacation Club Rentals at dvcrentals.com. If you, a loved one, a family member, or a friend are thinking about doing a vacation to Walt Disney World, please check out dvcrentals.com. You will thank me that you did. Let's talk about the obvious. Pandora, the world of Avatar, is open, and no, it did not disappoint me at all. On the morning of Wednesday, May 24th, they dedicated it with James Cameron, and at the end, the entire cast of the movie Avatar came. Remember, there's 4 more Avatar movies coming. 4 more, for a total of 5. The land itself takes place after the 5th movie, when the conflict is over and everything is in peace.
Walt Disney famously said that it's kind of fun to do the impossible, and it's a sentiment that captures the soul of our company, reflecting the optimistic spirit that really drives everything that we do. And Disney has been doing things no one thought possible for almost a century now, thanks to the visionaries and innovators that have gigantic ideas and great courage and the sheer will to deliver the impossible. And of course, at Disney, we call these people Imagineers.
Well, Nati Kamea means I see you. And thank you, Bob, and I really mean that. This is a spectacular, very surreal day for me. And thank you so much to everyone at Disney for who made today a reality.
Before I get into a lot more detail about Pandora, let's talk about Happily Ever After, something else that I was looking forward to that did not disappoint. Happily Ever After, the fireworks projection show, replaced Wishes in the Magic Kingdom, and it was awesome. I am going to show you the finale. It can't ruin it for you because it does nothing unless you're there. Literally, I mean, it's nice, but unless you're there, the video can't ruin it for you. It is so much better when you are physically there, but the video will have to work for now.
And so our journey comes to an end, but yours continues on. Grab hold of your dreams and make them come true. For you are the key to unlocking your own magic. Now go, let your dreams guide you. Reach out and find your happily ever after.
The battles, the stories, the losses and all the glory were changed by the way we live every day. Just look up and reach to the sky. We all have the courage to fly.
let's dispense with the two main attractions of Pandora that you probably have already heard of, the Na'vi River Journey and the Flight of Passage. The Na'vi River Journey is just a wonderful, calm, relaxing, imaginative boat ride, good for the whole family. Some people will say this is boring. I don't get it. There's so much to look at. There is so much detail. There are so many little things to look at. And then, of course, the wonderful shaman of songs, animatronic at the end, the shaman lady. Amazing. Overheard people say, oh, it's a small world. It has about as much in common with It's a Small World as Pizza Hut does with STK Steakhouse. Nothing. And now let's talk about Flight of Passage, the thrilling 3D ride at Pandora, the World of Avatar. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Okay, I took a quick cell phone video of myself when I first got off of it, so here's that. I just got off a Flight of Passage in Pandora Avatar. I was really worried about not fitting. It's tight, it's snug, but I fit. The legs weren't an issue. It's the calves mostly. My calves are like muscular because they lug my big body around. But what a ride. I feel like I flew on an econ. I feel like I flew. And I feel like I soared. And when it went to the left, I felt the weight going down and then up to the left, and you feel him breathing. It was incredible. It wasn't a ride. It was an absolute experience. No joke. I can't wait to do this again. Thank you, guys. So yeah, I felt like I flew. I felt like I had an experience. I've been on it about 8 times now, and I still feel like that experience. It is just all the sensory things put together that make me feel like I soared and flew through Pandora. I can't wait to do it again. The only thing that stops me from running off and on over and over is the hike up into the mountains to the rookery of Ekrons, the banshees, the dragons, that you have to make to get to it, and the walk back down. If it wasn't for that, I would be there 24/7, literally riding this ride. It is absolutely incredible. There is a size thing, and I get a lot of messages from larger people, fluffy people, poo-sized people, as they call them. You really can't tell. There's no way I can say, oh yeah, you can fit or you can't. It is restrictive as far as when I get off the Tupperware, the freshness seal is popped. It's done, but I fit. And it has to do with calf size and I guess width from tummy to back. And you know, they click me in and I click, but it's tight. I enjoy it. I can't gain 20 pounds or I will not be able to get on it. I say try. There is a test seat. Don't be embarrassed if you are embarrassed to try. It's just, you know, because you may fit fine. So go and try to experience this amazing attraction. Now, I did another video in full sunlight because the first time I got there, it was kind of cloudy and it was still beautiful. But look at some of this video in full sunlight. Now, there is a lot more going on in this world than meets the eye. There are field guides that look like explorers, and they are, like the streetmosphere of Avatar, of Pandora, if you will, and they are telling you about the blue puff plants, that they absorb toxins, and if you get too close and they absorb a lot of your toxins, they will burst and explode. But at night, there's a whole bioluminescence that comes across the land. My video does it no justice. You really have to see it for yourself. Other people have taken photos and they've enhanced them, and they've looked awesome.
I'm having a second. Don't even ask.
So the field guides will explain to you that the sounds that you hear during the day are also different from the sounds at night. Like sometimes you'll hear hunting calls or mating calls, but at night it's a whole different ecosystem that comes out in Pandora. They've really thought this out, where people will run and go on to 2 attractions and leave and be done with it. Don't. There are little trails and things. As a matter of fact, the first 2 times I was there, I missed. There's this place where I took a step up and it said, you may get wet. There are these creatures that spit water and try to catch little creatures with the spit of water to fall down so they can eat them. And I didn't want a chance getting my camera wet, but I saw those creatures in the water. I've been so busy running around, I still have to do a full video of the Satu'Li Canteen. I think I'm saying that correct. That's the food and beverage offerings over at Pandora. They're not as weird as you might think. They look kind of weird, but they're basically familiar comfort foods. Chicken bowls and hot dogs wrapped in buns. I love the pods. There are cheeseburger pods. These are doughy-like pods with cheeseburger mixture in it. Yes, it's like a sloppy joe's, I guess you could say, with pickles and cheese, things that would normally be on a cheeseburger. There is also a really good vegetable curry pod, which is delicious. I like them all. I like too many things there. The blueberry cheesecake, delicious, and it looks like there's an egg on top of it. That is a passion fruit thing. Oh, it's so delicious. I'm sorry. I wish I was there right now. Now, the merchandise store is called Wind Traders. It's one shop. A big shop. There is a Banshee rookery where you can purchase one of those Banshees and have them on your shoulder. They don't fit on my shoulder, so I put Velcro instead of the magnet that they sell you with it. But you've probably seen people walking around with Banshees. That same Banshee that talked about taking over the Tiki Room in the beginning of the show. We have to watch out for that. They do sell Banshees. I believe they're $50. There is no annual pass discount on the Banshee. There is on everything else. A lot more annual stuff is coming on, annual pass holder stuff. There are plushes, and I should tell you about the decoder. There is this little machine that you put cards into. It's a decoder, and it will tell you how to say things in Navi. There are 90 cards to collect. And there are some special cards, I'm told. I don't have any idea how to get them yet, but I'm going to find out because I want the 90 cards plus the others. Maybe we'll set up some sort of a thing on this YouTube channel. We'll do some sort of a way to message people, or maybe on Facebook where if you have extra cards, duplicates, we can trade them for ones we don't already have. Maybe we'll set up a Navi translator card thing. I'll tell you about that if we do decide to set that up. So it is all in all an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful addition to Animal Kingdom. I can only imagine in the future when the 4 other movies come out, the things that could be added to it. I do believe there are expansion pads, places that you can add another attraction in this land still. My friends and I also went crazy over the Guardians of the Galaxy meet and greet. You meet Star-Lord, and that's okay, he's fun, but Baby Groot is the highlight of the Guardians of the Galaxy meet and greet. Again, Adventures of a Disnerd on Instagram, Katie, she just went nuts over Baby Groot.
Pilot, got his defense.
No.
Well, that's pretty cool. Well, maybe Groot and I could train you to be pilots, and then you could come fly the ship with us. They want some selfies with you, bud.
Let's see if we can. Selfies! I was going to take a video. Oh, wait. Yeah. Big moment. Guys, it's Baby Groot! It is amazing!
I am Groot!
And now let's take a look at some more merchandise around Walt Disney World with Corinne Andersson in another episode of Mouse-A-Holics.
Hi everybody and welcome back to Mouse-A-Holics. My name is Corinne and today I'm going to show you some of my favorite merchandise finds at the Magic Kingdom. You know there's so much awesome merchandise, so let's go. So my first find we have spotted at Storybook Circus, and it's these highlighter pens. And if you look closely at these, you may recognize what this is. Disney trash cans. It's the trendiest thing right now. There's ornaments, t-shirts, buttons, but now highlighter pens. And highlighter monorails. How cute is that? These are not new, but you can find them at all the parks. So we have somebody on this show who's really into Haunted Mansion. It's not me, shocker. It's this one over there. And he just saw this amazing vinylmation made by the artist Jasmine Beckett Griffith. This is how it looks like in a painting form. But look at this cool figurine. Isn't that amazing? We will not guarantee that this doll will not kill you in your sleep when you buy it. But you know, yay! And it's $69.99. So you know it's fate when you walk into the Emporium and find a whole new collection of PJs that says, "We don't like morning." This is how I felt this morning when I woke up to see Avatar, because it's like, did you wake me up at 6 a.m. for this? Which was amazing, by the way. But I kind of feel like I should have worn one of these shirts. They're matching PJ pants. They are unisex, so it works for both guys and girls. So even though we were suffering from a little like Pandora overload today, tiredness, I hope you enjoyed my favorite merchandise finds from the park. As you know, you can always get Disney Parks item on the Shop Disney Parks app or by calling the Disney Parks merchandise mail order number that we have right here. To see even more merchandise, make sure you check out Disney Lifestylers on Instagram and come back next month and we'll show you more of my favorite finds. Bye guys!
And once again, let me mention my exclusive sponsor, David's Vacation Club Rentals at... We've been doing more and more, a lot more, and we have a lot more coming, of these 360-degree virtual tours where you just walk around a space and you can see the DVC room that you're going to get before you try to rent it from David's Vacation Club Rentals. Pretty soon, every single Disney Vacation Club room will be available for a 360-degree virtual tour at dvcrentals.com. That's David's Vacation Club Rentals website. While I was busy at Pandora, some friends covered MegaCon for me. DaVid McCarthy, our guest, was there because he just designs dresses. Amazing dresses.
So these are the dresses that I was just talking about. So I had to make 2 new dresses to do like a big group of blue princess dresses. But sadly I had this last week I had another thing come up, so I only had like 4 hours to spend on each of these dresses to like whip them up and get them done in time. But luckily both of my friends were helpful and we had already worked a little bit on, like we had cut some things out. But this is my lovely friend Brittany and my lovely friend Danny. And so yeah, we put together these new dresses and them unhemmed because I knew it would get dirty anyway. I'm gonna have to cut off the hem anyway. Yeah, so we just like threw them together and I was like, oh gosh, and then I forgot her gloves, the poor thing. She feels naked. Don't lie to
them. I am here with DaVid McCarthy of DaVid McCarthy Design.
Hi there.
How are you? I'm going to give you the panda hug, please.
Thank you, sir.
You are, and I'm not just saying this, one of the most talented folks that I know.
Oh, thank you.
And usually, when I say talent, a lot of people think we're talking about acting, and you probably are actually really good with that too.
Oh, I'm okay. I sing.
But I'm talking about costume design and creation. I was introduced to you first at Dapper Day probably 2 years ago, or was it MegaCon? It might have been MegaCon.
Might have been MegaCon, yeah.
And I saw the three fairies from...
Oh, yes.
Sleeping Beauty.
Yes.
And he was one of them, which I didn't quite get at first.
Yeah.
I thought, there's 3 ladies.
I really can look like a middle-aged woman, just false eyelashes and clip-on earrings. I immediately look like my mother.
You really
who's
are.
a beautiful woman.
You're not kidding. In that costume, you do look like... I have to put
it just looks like me.
But when somebody said, makes those costumes. He does that. I was like, listen, I don't know anything about costume at all. I couldn't sew for my life. But I could tell the love and what went into that design and the fabrics and the layering of certain fabrics. I only know the name of I only know fabric and tulle. I don't even know if that's what those things are called. But I just saw this person's one day he's going to be famous, and I'm going to say I knew him when. And I really truly believe that. I believe you're going to be making things for either celebrities if you have not yet already, or definitely working for Disney if you have not yet already. Give me DaVid McCarthy. How did this start?
So I've always been a performer. Like, I was a singer since I was in second grade. And then when and I was pretty successful with that. I was doing professional theater since seventh grade. And then when I left high school, I didn't want to go just get a BFA musical theater degree, because you go into, I was so privileged with the theater that I did in school that was very hands-on, and it was even though it was huge productions with huge budgets, they would still be like, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about this to the actors, which in most theater does not happen unless you're a celebrity. So I was I don't want to go get a musical theater degree and be a musical theater performer specifically and not have any say in the rest of the production. And so I kind of just meandered around and then started to realize that I really liked sewing. I really liked the dress side of everything. I was like, oh, maybe I'll do princess parties. No, that's really taxing, but I like princess dresses. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll do theatrical costuming. And then I was like, that's really taxing too, unless you have a staff of people. It is just mind-boggling how much
some of the
stuff
things you
have to
do look like you have a staff.
Yes, thank you. That's nice to say. And then I do have some wonderful friends that do help me occasionally on different shows when I do shows, which is really infrequent. Yeah, and then I just started sewing. It was 3 years ago. I got a sewing machine finally, and I just started pulling things and making new things.
What was your first creation?
The first thing, I made an apron for my mother for Mother's Day in 2009, and then didn't do any sewing after that until 2012. I got my sewing machine for Christmas, and then I
was it a really good one, or did you?
It was a real good one.
It was a good
one.
one.
My mom was like, "Well, here's a good sewing machine," and I was like, "Okay, great. Now I know exactly." And then it was has the cut thing. It's still the one I use.
So what's the first Disney one?
The first Disney thing I ever made was MegaCon that year, which must have been 2014, which feels like.
Oh, that might have been the year that that was.
No, it was forever ago.
Okay.
It was.
So 15 was the one where I saw you with the 3.
16 was fairies. 15 was I did Fairy Godmother and Cinderella, and then from 2015's film, and then 14.
He's very young. I don't know his age.
I'm 22.
Young. Oh wow. Okay.
So then 14, I made. I took 3 prom dresses and did Ariel, Cinderella, and Belle for friends. And the Belle one, we found this gorgeous Alfred Angelo wedding dress. We were like, we'll just dye it. And then you couldn't dye the fabric. We were like, oh, we can't dye this fabric.
We tried and it didn't take the color?
We just read the thing and we were like, oh, we can't dye polyester. Newsflash, you can't dye polyester. I just didn't know at the time. And so then I just took it and just covered it. I just covered the dress in gold fabric. And it turned out really well. Here's an example. The picture quality is terrible.
Did you send me a photo of
this?
Yeah.
I'll
It
put
is
it
a bad picture, though. Okay.
The quality is so bad, but the dresses themselves turned out really lovely, I think.
Now, I've seen wedding dresses that you've done.
Yeah,
Are they for real weddings, or is it just
I've done
cosplay?
One for an actual wedding, which was a lovely friend, Kira, of mine. And she asked me to make her wedding gown, and she wanted something kind of Lord of the Ringsy, but not too costumey. And I was like, okay. And then I was also surreptitiously like, well, you don't really particularly care for any specific princess, but I want the first wedding dress I make to be inspired by Snow White's wedding dress from the deleted scenes. And so it was a Snow White wedding dress, and she knew that. I was like, but also she looks nothing like Snow White. She's dirty blonde and super thin face, so she didn't look anything like it. So no person, obviously the scene was deleted too, so no person was gonna have her walk down the aisle and be like, yeah, she really enjoyed it. And I'm using it this summer, because speaking of wedding dresses, I'm really excited. I'm making 9. Well, I already have 1. I have 2. I have the Belle, which is a costume one, and then the Snow, but I'm adding to them and having 9 wedding dresses for D23 for one of the days.
Okay, here's a personal question. You don't have to answer it. You can answer it how you want. I see a problem with people asking for friendly favors.
Yes.
And not realizing what goes into it. Are you making decent money?
Oh, yes. Thankfully,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you
totally.
get into trouble where now you have 5 projects and no money.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
No, thankfully, all of my friends for the majority of my friends are also creatives types in some other field, or they're like either performers and they understand not getting paid, or they're artists and they understand not getting paid, or they're something, or they understand like the art of collaboration with people. So thankfully, yeah, I never really have a problem with that. And then thankfully I have a lot of friends that do commission work that are great seamstresses and great designers that have had some really unfortunate circumstances with their commissioners and like customers being really hard to handle. And luckily I've been so fortunate. Like I've only ever had like 2 commissions where we just had like a bit of difficulty communicating, but other than that, once you got past the communication, it was just like, oh, this is what you want? Okay, great, I can do that for you.
Okay, do you find yourself giving a price that might be too low and then you get into it and you're like, oh, I really lowballed this? Because that's what my issue would probably be.
I'm so thankfully there's like, you're paying for creativity rather than like man hours and fabric. We're supposed to, I know a lot of people that commission who unfortunately don't get as much recognition as they ought to, will like take a commission on and they'll be like, this is how much I spent on fabric, and then I'll give myself $10 an hour, which is not the way to do it if you're sewing, because then that's, you're paying for your creativity, which is something that you can't really put a value on.
Exactly.
So thankfully, because of that, I'm able to set my price point at somewhere that is comfortable for me, and I can make the dress and then have, quite a lot to do after. I mean, thankfully, my lovely parents let me just live at home, and so I don't save any money. Like, I don't have any money that I'm like, oh, I'll take the second half of that commission money and save it. No, I immediately go and buy more fabric for something else that I'm making for myself, or for my own stock of stuff.
At some point, Disney themselves, I've heard somehow, I really don't know how, has recognized you, correct?
Yeah, I mean, luckily with Dapper Day, we've, worked a little bit, so Disney Style is...
So Dapper Day is something Disney... I thought they...
It's not Disney,
okay.
But luckily Disney really likes Dapper Day, it seems.
Okay.
And so when, they do, Disney Styles blogs work for Dapper Day and, do a spread on it.
I've heard of Disney Style blogs.
Yeah, Disney Style. So, Disney has, I think, 7 websites underneath their thing, Oh My Disney, Disney Style, Disney Family, and all those, that are, official Disney blogs. And so with Disney Style, I met them last fall doing a live video thing that was a couple guests for Dapper Day, and then this spring I got to work with them again, and in the interim, they did a spread on my friend who did the Belle engagement, who got engaged playing Belle in a show at a theater outside of the parks, of course. And they did that spread, and then they did a spread on my Christmas party that was all.
That's how you got to host this Dapper Day.
Yeah, I mean, I got to meet the creator, who's wonderful. Justin is just awesome. He's the coolest person. He's so full of interesting stories. And I got to meet him through my lovely friend Stephanie, who's a photographer for Dapper Day, who's one of my best friends. I'm seeing her later today.
If you have a picture of Stephanie, we'll put it.
Bam! Disney by Steph. She's the best. And she does a lot of photography for me. We do a lot of collaboration stuff. Yeah, so I got to meet him through that at Fall Dapper Day, and then helped be a guest on the Disney Style thing, and then he needed people to delegate jobs out to, and he was like, hey, young man, come on, do this. And I was like, okay, great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really wonderful.
What's a costume in the park that's recently got you went, wow, they did a great job of that? Because I know you must judge some of them and be like, oh, they could have done better.
No, I always try and use discretion when I'm judging the costumes that other people have worked on. I don't really think about the fur and all those things. Those are a whole new field that I have nothing to do with, really. But when it comes to especially the princess redesigns, I have I could write entire novels on all of them about what I think of them, because on the majority of them I absolutely adore them, and I mean they're definitely a vast improvement, I think, from the original, or not the original, but the ones that were all built in the 90s into the early 2000s. I'm trying to think of what recent one.
Anything in a parade, like the Festival of Fantasy?
I love Festival of Fantasy parade costumes. Yeah, I absolutely adore those. I love the Swan Court dancers. I think they're so cool.
Wait, the Swan Court
They're the very first, in the white and the yellow.
Yes. And
I love that, I really wish that we had parade-specific costumes for that show, or for FOF, because the front float of FOF is from...
FOF, it's Festival of Fantasy.
Tokyo?
For those that don't know.
Yeah. It's from Tokyo, I think, or Hong Kong. It's one of the two, I don't remember. And they had matching dresses, like Cinderella, Belle, and then... originally where the turntable is that now has Elsa, Anna, Naveen, and Tiana. That rhymed. that originally had Aurora and Philip on it, and they had like these dresses that match the float that are so pretty. They're so cool. They have like these caged things on them, like they're very architectural. And I really wish we had
But
our
they
own.
still fit the character?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like so Belle's Bertha, which is the sleeve, that's off the shoulder.
I did not know that, but now I do.
Had like all the scrolling on it. It matched really well with the
So we don't have
float.
that here?
No, we have when Fall came out, we had just finished the redesigns. Like Snow had gotten her redesign like 4 months earlier, so they were really.
I didn't even know there was a redesign.
Yeah.
I just know that when winter comes, people say, "Let's see them in their winter option." Have you heard that?
Yeah, I mean,
Is that
we do
what it's
have winter
called?
wear. Yeah.
But is it called the option? Because I was like, "What do you mean the winter option?"
I think for the most part, everyone calls it a winter wear. I mean,
Okay.
I might not know.
But
But
you're
yeah,
not using the word option. I'm not using it, so I'm done with that.
but yeah, so I love the Festival of Fantasy costumes, but I really wish the princesses had their own. But also the thing that's really cool about the Swan Court dancers is that they have elements from the 3 characters that they knew would be on the float, because they didn't originally know that Anna and Elsa would be on that float until a couple months before. Which is why when it opened, they had Once Upon a Dream in it instead of.
Yep, the music was changed.
Yeah.
So I remember. Yeah.
So but the Swan Court dancers, like the bottom of their skirt is a Tiana skirt. Like it has the leaves at the bottom, and then the way the peplum is done is like somewhere between Tiana and Cinderella's peplum, and they have like Cinderella's sleeves. And they're yellow, so they have like a touch of Belle. So I really wish we had like dresses that matched with them of Belle, Tiana, and Cinderella, because the dresses are so well designed.
What are you working on right now that you're excited
Right now, I'm getting ready for MegaCon, and I have a really...
hopefully
Yes.
we'll have some MegaCon stuff
Yeah.
up here for me. By the time this airs, MegaCon will have happened,
Awesome.
so hopefully we'll find you at MegaCon.
Yes. Sadly, I can only go one day this time, which is sad. Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah, for MegaCon, it was so much fun. Last year I got to do a big group of pink princesses, and then I dressed as Flora, as in, make it pink. Awesome. And then my 2 lovely friends, Emily Young and Emily Inman, who are the cutest couple in the world, who are both named Emily, which is also so cute. And they're really, really super talented.
That's M&M's.
M&M's, yeah.
Is that what you call them?
Isn't that funny? Yeah, we call them M&M. I'm finishing out 9 wedding dresses. For Snow, Cindy, Aurora, Ariel, Belle, Jasmine, Tiana, Giselle, and Rapunzel.
Do you start one, finish it, or do you
I
go
just-
from one to the other to the other to the other and go one to...
Depending. So a lot of the time I like to have multiple things going on at once.
So if you get bored here, I'll come back to that
especially with
later.
these wedding dresses, I'm going to probably be cutting out all the bodices at the same time and cutting out all the skirts at the same time.
Have you ever gotten stuck creatively? You go to bed, you wake up, oh, I know what I'm going to do now.
all the time. Yeah, that's definitely what I do.
The reason I ask that is I
Yeah.
have friends that, they're working on computer programs
Yeah.
and they're stuck.
Yeah.
And then the next day they're like, oh, I know how to solve
They
it.
get
So
back
I
to
just
it.
wondered if it's the same type of...
Totally, absolutely. There'll be a lot of times where I because I have a lot of fabric storage. Like I just have a room full of stuff and appliques and stuff. And so I'll put things on a dress form and I'll be like, oh, it just doesn't feel right. And then I'll be like, take a little bit of time and then go back to it and pull something else out and be
Do you
like,
have people
does
you
this
trust?
work?
Does this look right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send
You have to have
pictures
people that
my
are
friends.
honest that really tell you. No,
Yes,
that
who are
doesn't.
like, ooh, David, that's a bad choice.
If somebody
Yeah.
likes everything,
You're like, gotta get out of here. Yeah, totally.
All right, so where are all the places on social media that we can find you?
Oh, yes. So mostly David for Disney on Instagram. That's where I do most of my
It's
posting.
up there.
Boop.
What color is it?
A blue. Can it be blue?
It's blue.
Marvelous.
David
Make
for
it blue.
Disney.
That's where I do most of my posting. But if you're on Facebook more and you wanted David J. McCarthy Designs, but the only thing that gets posted on David J. McCarthy Designs is me sharing my Instagram photos to that. So you just follow me on
What about
Instagram.
Twitter? Any Twitter?
No, I don't tweet. I don't know. I know if I had I could have a Twitter that was just David for Disney, but then I know I would eventually start delving into the scary side of Twitter, and Twitter is just so hostile. It seems I'm I don't want to be involved.
You could just have it. I think put your Instagram stuff on, so you don't have to look at it.
Just press share. Just press share to
I
Twitter.
thank you so much. As time
thank
goes on,
you.
will you come back, please?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, guys. David McCarthy Design.
Hi, guys.
Watch this guy. I'm not kidding.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Oh.
And there you have it, show number 47. Thank you again for joining me on this journey. If you have a chance, get to Animal Kingdom and take a look at Pandora, the world of Avatar. You will not be sorry. If this is just a hint of what Disney has planned for Star Wars Land, or whatever they're going to call it, wow. Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride. So thanks again, everyone. I will see you next month. A lot more videos coming up on the BigFatPanda.com channel. If you have not subscribed, please make sure you've subscribed to BigFatPanda.com. Share it with whoever you can. It helps me with the reach. If you, a loved one, a family member, or a friend are planning a trip to Walt Disney World, please again check out my exclusive sponsor, DaVid's Vacation Club Rentals at dvcrentals.com. Even if you have your accommodations booked already, check how much a DVC villa could cost you with DaVid's Vacation Club Rentals. You might want to cancel what you have and go with DaVid's because it is usually a better accommodation for a lower price. Go forth, create pandemonium, and above all, keep giving out panda hugs. Thank you again so much. Until next time, Panda out. Oh, before I forget, the prize for this month still is a panda shirt, just like this. Boy panda shirt and a girl's version panda shirt. Just make sure you are subscribed to BigFatPanda.com, put a thumbs up on this video, and any comment there in the YouTube channel about the show, about anything you want to tell me, just say hi. You will be in the running and it will be picked randomly for this prize.